Hello everyone, my name is Anai Sarashotin and I am doing my presentation on multi-state outbreak of Salmonella Agona infections linked to rice and wheat puff cereal. So some background information about this case. Salmonella is a bacteria that is found in the intestines of animals and humans, but the actual infection itself from that bacteria is called salmonellosis, and it does infect humans, and it depends on what their symptoms are, from how severe it is to nausea to affecting their spinal fluid and their brain, and it is spread through contaminated food and water, and it's mostly found in raw goods. And on March 24, 2008, the products from Multistate were recalled because the strain Salmonella Agona was found in their rice and wheat puff cereals. And in the US, about 28 individuals were affected by this, and they did have that same exact strain. And the ages did actually range, and studies showed that about 62% of the infected individuals were actually female. So the economic impact as well as the social impact from this case did affect it a lot. The economic impact did play a very big role because they did have to spend a lot of money on getting the products off the shelves, as well as maybe finding out how to compensate the victims, and because they don't know who is going to purchase from them in the future. And the social impact is that people probably have no trust in the company anymore. So they are going to have like a slower time making money. And a lot of people probably have a fixation with that type of cereal now. So other companies are also in danger. So after doing the SWOT analysis, the strength that I found was that a lot of people did have trust in this company before, and although that there was a breakout, customers will probably still be purchasing their items, and is that they were owning up to their mistake and they acknowledge what they did wrong. So the public does see them, they can probably gain their trust back soon. The weakness was that Multistate probably has to figure out what necessarily caused this, if it was from a vendor or if the machines were not clean at all. It is going to take some time, and there has to be an investigation. The opportunity that they have is that they can redeem themselves because they did have people that were buying from them, and they can use this time to make their cereals be higher quality. And the threat is that they probably are going to face a major lawsuit, and they are going to have to spend a lot of money paying the lawyers as well as helping out the affected people. And during this time when people aren't buying their cereals, their income is probably decreasing. And their mission statement is that they are dedicated to providing premium cereals that taste good, and they are very confident and take pride that their cereals are delicious and made with good quality, and that if you're not happy with the box, you can just give them the number of the box and call them and tell them what the issue is, and they can help you out somehow. So the root of the outbreak was that there were contaminated products that affected a lot of people, and it was from the manufacturing process because it wasn't sanitary. And to find out exactly what causes, they are going to have to do an investigation, and it is going to take time, but this will benefit them. The core problems and issues is that a lot of people did get very sick, and it should not be happening because of the resources that we have today. And a lot of people are probably very paranoid from this certain company. So they are going to have to take action at the plant and figure out how they can fix this so it can all be avoided. For the alternatives, the two solutions is that they are going to have to, obviously, like I said, investigate the plant to see where this bacteria even came from. And they probably have to do a test on the machines to see which process contaminated it. So applying to the health belief model, the threat is that they were putting the public's health in major risk because the severity depends on the person, and a lot of bad can happen with this bacteria. For the susceptibility, people may think that they are susceptible to this, but it also does depend on how well the person's body can handle it, and the age does depend on it as well. So the severity is, again, based on how bad that strain is and who is infected by it. The benefits is that the people are probably not going to experience this again, at least for a while, from this company, because they did recall all of this and they probably are doing their best to avoid all of this happening again. And the barriers that they have is that people probably don't want to go back to the store and to return it, or they can't afford any other cereal. It honestly just depends on their situation at that moment. And the cue to action would be to spread this so people know and that they don't purchase it so that they don't get sick. And the first alternative is that there would be a tracking technology that is used in epidemiology, where scientists look at the pathogen and they test it. And once they find the fingerprint, they look at its structure to see how it reacts. So it's like a protein. And once they figure it out, they can identify it and they can go from there. The second alternative is that a blockchain technology would be used where you would input the data from each step at the manufacturing plant from when you start making that product to when it gets to the store, so the consumers know exactly what's happening and they would feel safer. And this is actually used by Walmart to track their meats from other countries to see how they're manufactured. So the first recommendation would be to find a reliable supplier that knows exactly what they're doing and that they have a valid license and years of experience, and that there should be random checks during it to see if what they're doing is sanitary. And the second recommendation would be that the employees at the manufacturing plant should be trained very well and that they should know exactly what to do while they are making the cereal, and that they should take assessments so the owners know exactly that they understand what they're doing and they understand that they do have to be sanitary. And the third recommendation would be that Multimeal should have partnerships with other organizations that are focused in the public health field, such as the CDC or the FDA, so that at any point they can use them to help them to see if it is sanitary, or if they have any questions, they can reach out, because every year so many people are getting sick and it, again, should not be happening. For the action plan, the first action plan is that safety measures would be enhanced in the manufacturing plant, and there again should be another investigation so they know exactly where they should work in. And this assessment would take about a month to 2 months because it is going to take a while for testing and everything. And to have the entire manufacturing plant be sanitized, it would take months because I'm assuming it is a big plant. And there should be cleaning supplies installed in all portions of the plant. And this would include the Human Resources Department as well as the Food Safety and Quality Assurance team. For the second action plan, they would team up with people in the tech field so that they can learn exactly how to use the blockchain and what it really is. And the formation would take a few months because you need to genuinely get to know the person and make that bond with them. And the training would also take a lot of time. It would take 6 to 7 months because it's not an easy thing to learn. And the groups involved would be the tech team and the public relations team, as well as lawyers, just in case anything goes wrong. So for the conclusion, to this day, there's still a lot of breakouts, from cheeses to fruits to waters. And again, it should not be happening because we have all the resources to prevent this. So I do think that the blockchain would help a lot to help people be more at ease, and for the manufacturers to actually understand what they're doing at each moment, so this can be prevented. And one case that I can relate this with is the Listeria outbreak in South Africa from the years 2017 to 2018, which was from raw meats and it was contaminated. But now more people understand what Listeria is and they can prevent it now, and they understand how to safely put their food away and how to deal with raw meats. And that is all. Thank you so much for listening.